Hey, how's it going, guys? Today we will be covering strings in C++, so let's get right into it. So, what exactly is a string? Well, it is a variable that stores a sequence of letters or other characters such as hi or I will subscribe to this channel. And just like other data types, to create a string, we first declare it, then we can store a value in it. Now, before we continue, in C++ we work with header files, and an example of a header file is the IO stream which we talked about in the previous video. And now we have something similar for strings. If you ever want to work with strings in terms of storing them in variables, you should always add #include string at the beginning of your code. Now, you may be asking, why do we bother to include this? Well, actually, you don't need to. Your code should work just fine. But according to what I found online, what's happening is if you do not include the string header, it is simply your compiler being kind by recognizing that std_string is part of the C++ standard library and pulling the appropriate header file in for you automatically in the background. You shouldn't rely on the compiler to notice omissions from the standard library and correct them. Now, if that didn't make sense, don't worry, that's just for interest's sake. Let's move on to some coding now. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you the basic template for adding a string. So to do that, we're just going to leave a line after our IO stream and do #include string, and that should be it. And now you should be able to start using your string variables. So for example, string name, and then if you want to take input into that name and we want to output that name, now we can totally do that. Now what if you want to take more than one word as a string? So let me just tell you what I'm talking about. So if I say string s, okay, and if I say sin s and see out that s, and I save that, I run this code, and if I say save space code, and if I hit enter, as you can see, it only prints out safe. What happened to the code? Well, there's a space in between, and C++ doesn't read that. It only reads this. So in order to get by that, you're going to have to use the getline function. So instead of saying sin operator s, you're going to have to use the getline function. So it's getline, two brackets. It's going to be sin, comma, your variable that you want to store the input in my case s, and that's about it. So save, you can go ahead and run this code. And if you go ahead and say save code again, hit enter, as you can see, save code. As you can see, that was only save. And that's basically how you use getline. And the last thing I want to talk about is we can basically do the same thing we did with the numbers. So if we want to declare two strings, so string name and then maybe mark, and then you want to say sin name and then mark. Sorry, that's a small letter. And then I forgot one of my operators here. Clumsy me. And then if we see out the name, we can see out the name and then see out the mark separately. So let's go ahead and run that and see what that does. Run code. So if I say save and then maybe 99, and then if I hit enter, as you can see, it saved 99. Now, what if I want to put that 99 on the next line? All we have to do is just add a end line over here, save it, run code, and then we got save 99. There you go, save 99. So that about wraps it up for today, guys. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.